Hello all, this is Robert here with another Tech Geek 311 video and app review. Wanted to give you guys a little bit of an app review on a task called Goodtask. This app pretty much uses your iOS reminders and kind of gives you more abilities and things of what to do with it. So on my screen right here you can see I've got the Goodtask app for the Mac and the Goodtask app for the iPhone side by side. If I go into my reminders now and you see the Goodtask tab, here's all my reminders in here that I've set. And those are all synced into this Goodtask app. So Goodtasks, basically I'll go into the settings here. So you can see you have your list, can manage what list you want to use. You can do the overdue task. You can have them show on the current date or due date. You have all your calendar events. So you can sync all the calendars you have. You have your filters, what you want to show on the screen, what you don't want to show on the screen with your check marks. Of course you have your list views. And then you have your quick actions, which I don't really use quick actions, but they're there if you need it. You have your default lists, so you can pick whichever one of your lists you want as your default. Have your alarm on, which I never really use this. It doesn't really function, so that's your preference how you want to do it. You have a night mode. You can either do this night mode manually or you can set it from a schedule. So that way you're not getting this bright white screen on you when it's nighttime. Then you have your font sizes. You can have your default, your large or huge. Of course you have your app icon badge. You can also do background refresh, which doesn't quite work that well right now. With the new iOS 8, I think this will be much more improved because Apple's reminder app basically doesn't update or refresh unless you add something in another reminder folder. And I'll show you that in a little bit. Of course you have your base thing, how do you want your app to show for today, this week, and so forth. If you want to include overdue task and undated. Then you have if you want Sunday as your first day, any sound effects, sidebars, open URLs such as Safari or Goodtask, however you want to do it. Then of course your about, your facts, and so forth. So typical settings there. Top right corner you have this little arrow pointing down, which you can pull it up. You're going to get your past tasks, bring it down, past tasks will disappear. The bottom you can have your list view. It gives you all the lists you have and what you have included. Your day view, give you a week view. So you have your entire week here with your task and your calendar events below. And then of course you have your month view with your little dots that you can go through each one and it'll pull up what's for those corresponding days. If you tap on the date on the very middle, it brings you right back to your current date. Now what I like the most about this though, on either one, whether you're using the Mac or whether you're using the iPhone version or iPad version, what I like about this is that it's very simple and very easy to enter your information on here, unlike the Reminders app. And it's very quick when you check things off and all that. What I don't like the most is the syncing. That's what I want to show you guys today. So I want to go into, let's go into the Mac version for an example. And we're going to type in here something. Let's say we're going to type in test. Okay, we're going to set a due date for 6 p.m. today. Alright. I'm going to hit enter. Alright, you see how it showed up on the Mac version? There it is. But look at my iPhone version. It's not on there. I can keep refreshing this one, messing with it back and forth. Nothing will show up. Same thing, I can scroll through all my other ones in here, scroll back, scroll through, scroll back, scroll through, scroll back, and nothing shows up. What I found to be a trick to help this out, and I'm hoping the iOS 8 will fix it, is I go in here to my Reminders app. You notice I have 22 in the Goodtask. And I go in here to just any one of my folders, type something in, and you're going to see a little cog rotating now next to my Wi-Fi signal. Now if I go into my Goodtask and we go down to the bottom, there it is. There's a test. Okay? So now if I go back into my Goodtask app, it shows up. Why this happens, I don't know. but apparently that is something. I think that's the Apple's Reminders app is that issue. It just does not refresh like other Reminders apps as fast. And I noticed the same thing will happen if I check these two off, and let's say I delete them. So I tap on it, hit delete, tap on this one, hit delete. Okay. If I go into here, you'll notice how this one's already deleted. If I go now into my reminders, you notice that it disappears. So for some reason, when you check them off and when you remove them, it seems to work pretty fast. But when it comes to adding it and expecting it to show up, you have to do that little trick. You basically have to go into your Reminders app on your phone or on your Mac, set in a separate reminder, whatever it is, let the cogwheel go across, and then it'll refresh. It's an added extra step. I don't like it. The app is overall it's good. It does make the Reminders app a lot better. I'll give you an example. If I put in here test and I go to details, when you go to due date, you'll notice in here how I get every minute. Okay? So we're gonna cancel this one out. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my Reminders app. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing, but watch. I go in here to the date and the alarm every 5 minutes. So I don't like that. You don't have every minute like you normally would, as you do with this one with Goodtask. Goodtask gives you that option. Now, you do have the option in the Reminders app. If I say test, let's say on Friday, and I put the @ symbol, and I put in here 4 p.m. and hit enter. Well, sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. That's what I said. The Reminders app for the default for Apple is not as improved as most of the other ones out there, and I've noticed that it won't do it with some things, and it will. But when you go into stuff like Goodtask, then you can enter stuff in just the way you want it. The other good thing about the Goodtask, though, is that if you want to do something to repeat, this is what the Reminders app will not give you, and Goodtask will give you. So if you go in here and you add the date, and you go into the repeat menu, you're going to get this one on the bottom called Custom. And this is what I like, because you can set it for each day, for each week, whatever day of the week you want, per month, per year. So you have those options in there, and that's options that you don't have with the default Reminders app. So that's why I like the Goodtask app. And like I said, the Mac version does work pretty well. The only downside though is the syncing. But I wanted to give you guys an idea of what this is. This is another option for the Reminders app if you guys are deciding on using it, and you want something that gives you more options. Goodtask is a very good one to use. It works with the Mac, works with the iPhones and iPads and so forth. There are plenty of other calendar apps out there that do work with default reminders, and they do make it much easier to use. So if you need other alternatives, go ahead and start using them. When iOS 8 comes out in the fall and they upgrade the Reminders app, I'll be sure to give you guys another video on that and show you more what can be done. Alright, so I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it was informative and helps you use the Reminders app more. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like below. Subscribe if you haven't. Tip me if you can, and I guess I'll get back with you guys with more stuff. Alright, thanks for watching.